Article number 5, a product or service claim, is a word, phrase, statement, or visual presentation that refers to an action, performance, quality, or benefit to be gained from a product or service. This can be mentioned of ingredients, pricing, origin, etc. Examples are, but not limited to: number 1, widest coverage. Next, whitens skin or whitens clothes. Example nito is yung mga skin white, or yung doon naman sa whitens clothes ay yung sa laundry detergent na iba-iba gaya ng Tide, Ariel, or Surf, mga ganun. Next, helps control dandruff. So, ang number 1 dito na sikat ay yung Head and Shoulders na sinasabi nila na dandruff free daw. Next, yung prevents dehydration. Example nito yung Pocari Sweat. Next, for softer, shinier hair. Example nito is yung Cream Silk. Next, the chocolatiest ice cream. Next is 58% safer. So, hindi ko pa to masyadong naririnig dun sa mga ads. Next, more affordable and last with 5-star amenities. So, how can you ensure that your product stands out? So, paano nga ba kayo makakasiguro na yung product mo is nag-number 1 dun sa mundo, ganyan. Syempre, it is by making performance promises that are honest, genuine, and attractive to the target consumer. These promises are called product claims or sometimes allegations in the industry. At ayun yung nilalaman ng Article 5, yung about sa product or service claim. Section number 1, claims on ingredients. A. Advertisements should not contain any reference to an ingredient that could lead the public to assume that a product contains a specific ingredient unless the ingredient's quantities and properties, as well as the material benefit that results from its inclusion in the product formulation, have been technically substantiated. Sa isang ads, hindi mo pwedeng basta-basta sabihin na yung product nyo ay meron ng ganto or yung ganyan na ingredients na wala naman mismo talaga dun sa product nyo para lang makaakit ka ng customers. Kailangan kung ilalagay mo yon, kailangan mong pangatawanan na meron talaga or may evidence ka na ipapakita sa kanila. B. Advertisement should not imply that a certain benefit is due to a specific ingredient unless a verifiable cause and effect relationship exists. Hanggat walang napapatunayan, hindi ka pwedeng mag-conclude sa mga bagay-bagay unless makapag-present ka ng right information or cause and effect relationship about dun sa product mo na ina-endorse kanila. Section number 2, number 1 or leadership claim. A. A number 1 claim refers to both sales volume and its corresponding monetary value. This may mean leadership in the total product category or a generally accepted segment or predefined segment within the product category. You can claim or consider your product as number 1 kung equivalent yung both yung sales volume at yung monetary value mo. B. The substantiation of a number 1 claim shall cover at least the immediately preceding 12-month cumulative data, both volume and monetary value, from an independent source acceptable to the Ad Standards Council. In the absence of data pertaining to the last 12-month period, the substantiation may be based on the latest available, reliable, and bona fide figures provided. These are shown to be reasonably current to the satisfaction of the Ad Standards Council. Ano ba ang trabaho ng Ad Standards Council or yung ASC? ASC is the advertising industry body in charge of screening and regulating content of advertising materials across all media. C. No product or service without a competitor may make a number one claim. Siyempre, paano mo masasabi na or paano mo makiklaim yung product nyo as number one sa industry? Kung sa una pa lang talaga, wala ka naman talagang competitors, diba? D. A claim to be number one in sales relating only to specific areas must prominently specify the areas covered. E. The Ad Standards Council can issue a cease and desist order or CD to a previously approved number one claim if it is proven by a competitor that its cumulative volume and value data in the immediately preceding 6-month period put it ahead of the leading brand. However, for the challenger brand to earn the right to claim number one, a 12-month cumulative data, both volume and value are still needed. So, ano ba yung cease and desist order? Yung CD ay isang order na ini-issue ng government, administrative agency, or minsan letter siya na gawa ng isang attorney na nagbabawal sa isang company na itigil yung ginagawa nilang illegal activities. Ngayon, kung mapapatunayan yun ng competitors at gusto naman nila na maklaim ang number one, kailangan pa rin nila na dumaan dun sa mga procedures at data na hinihingi. Hindi yung basta na halimbawa ay mapatunayan nila na yung number one sa industry na yung kalaban nila ay may ginawang illegal, pwede na silang ilagay dun sa number one. Siyempre, kailangan pa rin nilang dumaan dun sa tamang procedure. Section number 3 or absolute claim is a claim that guarantees full delivery and product and service performance at all times. May require substantiation by an independent third-party data support. Ito yung part ng service claim na kung saan nagbibigay ka ng assurance dun sa customers mo about dun sa product mo. Examples nito yung no wetness guarantee and yung sigurado ang balik ng pera mo. Then, section number 4, exclusivity claim is a claim wherein the product or service is the only one able to provide or deliver said benefit, attribute, property, feature. This claim must be substantiated by an independent third-party support. Dito naman yung kung saan kiniklaim nila sa ads na yung product nila ay exclusive. Kumbaga, naiiba dun sa mga nakikita na ng tao. Examples nun are yung the only shampoo and conditioner with ilang-ilang fragrance. Or, ito lang ang makakapagbababa ng lagnat ng bata sa loob ng 5 minuto. Sa dalawang claims na yon, kailangan kang merong supporting data na magsasabi na totoo yung pinapalabas mo sa ads about dun sa product mo, hindi yung gawa-gawa mo lang yun para maka-attract ka ng customers.
So, yun. Sa Section 5, Comparative Claim is claiming advantage over another brand or service, previous formulation and properties, a set of products, or versus non-use of the product or service. This claim must always be properly qualified as to what it compares itself against. It may also be substantiated by an independent third-party data support. So obviously, sa Section 5, they compare themselves to others. Pero dapat dito ay meron silang napatunayan and it is certified. So, kailangan it is with evidence. Then, examples nito, better in sun damage protection versus lotion only. So, makikita natin to halimbawa sa Nivea. May nakalagay doon na protect and moisture with 5+1 sun protection. Then, isa pang nakalagay doon is yun nga, the better sun care, SPF 50 is all your skin needs. So, sa Nivea, doon nga, hindi lang siya basta na lotion na which moisturizes your skin. Meron din siyang UV protection. Yun nga yung SPF, diba? Na kahit ilang oras ka man na ma-expose sa sunlight, hindi agad madadamage yung skin mo. And hindi siya agad makakapangitim dun sa skin mo. Then, another example, makes clothes whiter than the leading powder detergent. So, halimbawa na natin dito is yung sa sabon na Tide. Yung specifically yung sa commercial ni Vic Soto na may sinabi doon na bossing sa kaputian. So, yung tinutukoy na bossing sa kaputian doon is obviously yung sabon na Tide na i-compare mo man siya doon sa ibang sabon na kayang paputiin yung, kung kaya nun paputiin yung isang damit, sa Tide, kaya niyang paputiin pa yung napaputi mo na damit. So, yun. Ibig sabihin sa Tide, siya yung better siya dun sa kino-compare na product ng sabon. So, yun. Then, sa section 6 naman, superiority claim. It means a product or service is above and better than all competitors in the category in all material respects, mainly when it comes to product performance or service delivery. So, examples nito, most trusted by moms in toy safety for their toddlers. Biggest prize money to be given away. So, yun nga. Example nito yung halimbawa, kahit hindi sa mga toys, example yung sa Wilkins na meron doon nakalagay is recommended by doctors and trusted by moms to keep family safe. So, yon. And another example, yung sa diaper ng Pampers. Yung sa video kung napanood nyo yung kay Sara Labati, pinaka-hashtag nun is, yun nga, nakalagay dun na, making the world better for baby. And yung another tagline naman, yung pinaka-linya dun sa Pampers, another Pampers commercial is yung, less law, better galaw. So, yun. Nakikita natin dun sa mga products na yon na para siya sa mga bata, pero makikita natin yung superiority claim doon dahil nga it was most trusted by moms. Ibig sabihin, di ba, since yung mga nanay, yung siyang namimili kung ano yung dapat sa anak nila, ano yung pinipili, di ba, sila yung pumipili ng mga sa tingin nila is safe and okay para sa mga anak nila. So, yon. Claims such as, but not limited to, most preferred or most recommended should be substantiated by an independent third-party quantitative research test. Should the advertiser or ad agency decide to continue to use the claim after a year, an updated data must be submitted for review. So, yon. Balik tayo dun sa Wilkins, di ba? May sinabi din dun na recommended by doctors. So, yon. Pero ito, yung mga ganun na claim nila, it will only last within a year. So, halimbawa, natapos na yung isang taon, na yun pa rin yung kiniklaim mo, dapat magpasa ka ulit ng updated data kung talagang yung kiniklaim mo na yun ba is okay pa rin or baka hindi na, 'di ba? So, 'yun, kaya kailangan nandun din yung mag-submit sila ng review regarding sa updated data ng mga claim na yun after a year. So, yun yung sa superiority claim. So, dito naman tayo sa section 7, testimonials. Sa A, testimonials should relate to the product being advertised. So, yun. Siyempre, kailangan yung testimony mo is related dun sa product na ina-advertise mo. Halimbawa, di ba, yung testimony mo is about sa sabon na panlaba, pero yung product mo pala is lotion, di ba? So, yun? So, kailangan, halimbawa, yung testimony mo is about sa sabon na panlaba. So, it means yung product mo is about sa sabon na panlaba. Diba? Ganun lang kasimple. And sa B, yun, testimonial claims should be genuine and truthful. Fictitious testimonials shall not be allowed. So, yon sa testimonial claims naman, ito kailangan maging genuine ka and kailangan yung mga sinasabi mo roon is totoo. So, fictitious, ibig sabihin ng fictitious, yung mga gawa-gawa lang, hindi yun inaalaw. And letter C, testimonials should only be used with the written permission of those giving them, unless taken from a published source that must be properly quoted with attribution of the source. So, yun, meron ding written permission kung sino man yung of those giving them. So, yun nga. The advertiser must substantiate a testimonial by submitting the original written, dated, and signed testimony, duly subscribed and sworn or notarized, supporting the endorsement. So, yun. Halimbawa sa isang advertisement, since meron tayong mga, yun nga, testimonial claim, the advertiser, kailangan, meron din siyang isubmit na original written na talagang yung testimony na yun, it supports dun sa ina-endorse na product or service. Then, letter D, if the testimony quotes a published source, a copy of the publication must be submitted. So, yun, kailangan din makapag-submit ng copy ng publication. If the testimony quotes a published source. Then, letter E, if the testimony is quoting another person, a written permission should be submitted from the quoted source. So, yun. If yung testimony mo naman is nagko-quote ng ibang tao, another person, kailangan mo rin makapagpasa nung yun nga, written permission from the quoted source. Yun, mula dun sa source mo. And letter F, testimonials should be categorically stated as a personal experience or opinion of the endorser and should be clearly presented as part of the testimonial statement. So, the testimonial must use qualifiers, halimbawa, in my opinion, para sa akin, in my experience, etc. So, dito makikita natin to sa mga commercials na ibig sabihin yung testimony mo, yung tinetestify nung endorser, kailangan talagang ito is, halimbawa, naranasan niya, na-experience niya. Example, yung sa, yung sa Maxipil, diba? Na commercial. Video about sa Maxipil.
Nakakadiri. Yun ba naman yung sabi nila? Ang problema kasi pag night duty nurse ka, wala kang tulog. Meron ako ng maraming breakouts, lalo na sa noo ko. Gusto mo lang na paglingkuran mo sila, pero pandidirihan ka pa nila. Kaya sinabi ko sa sarili ko, mula ngayon, gagamit ako ng Maxipil. 2 linggo pa lang, na wala lahat ng mga tigidig ko dito. Ito yung bagong ako, ito yung new me. Sa lahat ng taong napapagod, napupuyat, may sagot.
So, yun. Then, letter G. Testimonials based solely on subjective judgment are allowed, provided that they are not presented as statements of facts. When such testimonials include specific claims regarding product or service performance, these claims should be supported with independent evidence on the accuracy of consistent with the actual product or service performance. So, yun. Kailangan ito, based lang siya dun talaga sa sarili mong, yun, subjective judgment. Allowed naman siya. Basta, lang siya. It is not presented as a statement of facts. So, kailangan yung testimony mo is talagang, yun, based sa'yo. Ano ba, ikaw yung nag-endorse, kailangan yung testimony mo is based dun sa kung ano yung judgment mo, ano ba yung experience mo within that product or service. Then, letter H, testimonials shall not be used to circumvent. So, yun, kailangan hindi din siya yung magte-testimony ka tapos parang, parang hindi naman totoo. Kailangan hindi mo dinadaya yung tao, hindi mo dinadaya. Kasi, halimbawa, nagkukunwari ka lang o gawa-gawa lang yung sinasabi mo, di ba? So, yun, it will affect dun sa product or service. And, yun nga, number 1, a prohibited claim. Sa 2, the requirement for substantiation other than the testimony itself. Then number 3, regulations of government bodies pertaining to the use of claims on the product or service. So, yun. Then, letter I. Saan na tayo? Testimonials of professional or a group of professionals should observe the code of ethics. So, yun, kailangan ma-observe din yung meron din tayong code of ethics pagdating sa advertising. Even dun sa mga testimony na sinasabi natin. Yun. Code of ethics of their profession and should not violate regulations of the government bodies or institutions regulating that profession. So, yun. Kailangan ma-observe yun yung code of ethics, lalong-lalo na pag mga professional, di ba? Yun yung kailangan natin ng maigi. And then, letter J. An actual testimonial portrayed by a talent should be supported by a certification allowing the portrayal of the supposed endorser. So, yun. An actual testimonial portrayed by a talent should be supported by a certification. So, kailangan, yun nga, may certification din na talagang na-allow niya yung portrayal ng supposed endorser. So, yun. And letter K, individual person endorsing a product or service in advertising and communications materials and who is or are presented as an expert must have demonstrable credentials to substantiate the claimed expertise. No. His or her endorsement must be supported by an actual exercise of his or her expertise in evaluating the product or service, features or characteristics. Such evaluation must be relevant and available to an ordinary consumers use of or experience with the product. So, ito kailangan, yun nga, kapag kayo nag-endorse ng product is, halimbawa dito yung sa mga sabon, diba, sa Safeguard, diba, yung mga expertise nila, diba, about sa mga, syempre, halimbawa, ikaw, yung may mga, ibig sabihin yung may mga alam sa pagdating sa mga, sa health, diba, ng tao, or even sa mga, kung ano man yung mga meron dun sa product na yun, sa sabon na yun na makakatulong sa tao. Na, ba, yung mga germ protection, ilang percent ba siya na kayang sa paghuhugas ng kamay, ilang porsyento ba yung kaya niyang tanggalin na germs once na ginamit mo yung sabon na yun. So, yun, yung mga ganun. And then, letter L. Endorsement by an organization is deemed as a judgment of a group whose collective experience or expertise outweighs that of an individual member. The advertiser must provide evidence to substantiate that the organization's endorsement was reached by a process sufficient to ensure that it reflects the collective judgment of the organization. So, yun. Ito sa testimonials, kailangan rin talaga na, yun nga, may mga evidence ka na magpapatunay talaga na yung ine-endorse mo, di ba, na talagang yun, ano yung testimony mo doon is totoo. Then, letter M, all advertising materials, whether TV, radio, print, digital, OOH, or PDS that use endorsement by any person, celebrity or non-celebrity, must indicate the name of the person and their line of specialization. So, ito makikita natin to sa mga advertisement in terms of, halimbawa, di ba, kung mga nagbabasa tayo ng mga magazine or even sa mga brochure na nakita natin, di ba? Makikita natin halimbawa sa mga brochure, di ba? Minsan yung meron sa mga lipstick, di ba? Halimbawa, ito in-endorse ng Angel Oxin. Makikita mo doon. Tapos meron doon may part doon sa brochure na nakalagay yung pangalan niya, Angel Oxin. Minsan may parang pirma pa. And then kung ano siya, halimbawa, actress, singer, ganito ba siya? And even another example, kung sa mga relo, yun, yung mga ganun, makikita natin, di ba? Nakalagay din pangalan ng artista, di ba? Or actor, pwede rin na ano rin siya. Ano yung specialization niya, other from being an actor, halimbawa, dancer, o kaya kung ano pa man. So, yun, yung mga makikita natin examples. And then, sa letter N, no advertising can make any reference to advice received from the Ad Standards Council or imply endorsement by the Ad Standards Council. So, yun. So, yun nga. Ito, all in all, sa testimonial naman kasi, since napakarami nito, yun lang, kailangan lang makikita natin talaga dito yung mga relation sa testimony nung nag-endorse o kung sino man na talagang ito is na prove na nila. So, another example do, di ba kanina yung sinabi ko nga, sa Maxipil. Then, meron din tayo makikita sa mga commercials ng Dove, kung saan na kadalasan ng mga ano dito, kinukuha nilang endorser o yung mga endorser na nagte-testify sa paggamit nila ng Dove, whether it is yung Dove na sabon ba o yung shampoo, 'di ba, yung mga kababaihan. And then meron din dun sa Coffee Ko Blanca, 'di ba, na alam naman natin pinakasikat na endorser niyan is si Marian Rivera. So yun, yung mga product na yan, ito lang yung isa sa mga example na merong testimonials. So, yun. And then, lastly, sa section 8, quotations from famous personalities. Sa A, quotations of famous personalities when used in an ad must indicate the source to serve as qualifier. Quotations from presidents' first inaugural address. So, siguro mga example nito is yung sa mga sa mga SONA, yung mga ganun. So, kung ano yung, halimbawa may sinabi siya, i-quote mo yon, and then yon, nandun yung name niya. And letter B, quotations must not be used to circumvent a prohibited claim. So, meron din ito sa kanina, sa testimonials, diba? So, yon. Letter C naman, the advertisers or ad agency must submit a copy of the quotation source certified by the advertiser's high-ranking company official. So, yun, kailangan din yung advertiser o yung ad agency, kailangan niya rin mag-submit ng copy nung yung source nung na-quote nila. And then, yun, it is also encouraged to secure appropriate permission from relevant parties if it is deemed necessary, so as not to violate regulations of the local or international government bodies or institutions protecting intellectual property rights. So yan, mahalaga rin to, yung may mga sinasubmit pa sila na kung ano-ano, di ba, para yun nga, may hindi lang sa may mapatunayan, kundi iba, meron ding mga regulations na kailangan hindi ma-violate. So, yun. Nakalagay din yun doon. Then, letter D, pinaka-last, sa section 8, in the event the quotation is copyrighted or a registered or prior use trademark of another, the advertiser or ad agency must then secure the necessary written consent from the quotation's copyright or trademark owner to prevent any violation of intellectual property rights. At all times, the advertiser or ad agency is duly bound to respect the intellectual property rights.
Ang susunod naman ay Section 9, Scientific or Technical Claims. Yan. Sabi dito, all references to laboratory data, statistics, and scientific terms used should be represented fairly and in their correct context. Ayun, parang sinasabi dito na kailangan natin ng all references to laboratory data, statistic, and scientific terms. Yan, na kailangan natin maipresenta na legit at substantiate ang mga product natin in sa claims. Yan, kailangan visual represented yung mga yan. Yan, sinasabi rin dito na in case of reference to test by professionals or institutions like doctors, engineers, or research foundation, yan, kailangan documented at authoritative evidence yan. Yan ang importante talaga. Kailangan meron tayong proof sa mga ganyang substantiate test and claims. So, next naman ay Section 10, Substantiation. Yan, these are documents, research, clinical, scientific, laboratory data, or packaging submitted to the ASC support the claim. Yan. Yan, sinasabi dito na ang substantiation ay nangangaluhog ang proof or evidence na may ipakikita. Ito, like this, na documents. Yan. For examples, ang retail audit data. Ayan. Yung retail audit data, ito yung mga data about sa sales ng volume, stocks, mga stock levels, mga description sa mga stores. Yan, ganyan. Yan, yung mga competitor activity nila. Yan. Ayun, tulad nun. And, ayun pa, consumer research. Yan. Pag sinabi naman consumer research, yan, alam naman natin na yan yung mga preferences, attitudes, motivation, and buying behavior ng mga customer or audience. Yan. Sabi naman dito sa sumunod ay yung product samples or labels ay importanteng nakaregister sa FDA. Yan. Yan yung sinasabi ng mga documents. Importante ito sa mga products tulad ngayon. Yan, yung FDA approved. Tulad ng mga yan. Next one is the Section 11, Data Reference. Yan. References, acknowledgement, or recognition of data, research, or sources including methodology, scope, date of implementation. Yun. Sinasabi dito na yung mga data references, kailangan may mga resulta na legit or proven yung mga research, survey, or test. Yung mga references din, syempre kailangan may result siya na bona fide sa mga lahat ng research, survey, at test sa mga relating products. Next one is Section 12, Intellectual Property Office, IPO. Ang mga advertiser can claim exclusive ownership over a mark if it has obtained valid and existing registration with IPO. Para sinasabi rin dito na ownership of the mark is different from truthfulness of the claim or the message that the claim communicates. Okay. Sinasabi dito ng kapag nagkaroon ka ng mark galing sa IPO ay magkakaroon ka ng, in terms of intellectual property rights, ay makakamit mo yung copyright related rights. Yan, parang kasama na rin dito yung patents, yung mga layout designs, protection, and information.
Section 13. Qualifiers and technical specifications in reference to claim. Annex 2. Prerequisite documents and mandatory statement to avoid an incomplete decision. Yung prerequisite document at saka yung products saka yung products niya in category. Yung FDA, CPR or CPN is food, beverages, OTC drugs, HR products, food, dietary supplement, medical devices, cosmetic products. Then yung FDA tracking log and official receipt of payment of renewal for CPRs or CPNs which are expired or near expiration. Yung malapit na ma-expired. Then VAI CPR, veterinary products. Then yung NTC permit, sales and promo ads of telco products and services. PAGCOR permit, sales and promo ads of entertainment, leisure, gaming, or gambling establishments including casinos. DOH IAC approval, milk supplements, infant formula, complementary foods and devices. HLURB, license to sell and approval advertisement, real estate. NHCP approval, use of historical symbols, events, and landmarks. DOLE working permit, for ads using local minor age talents 15 years old below, whether or not faces of said talents will be shown in the final material. Certification from photo source, use of stock photos of talents or children. CAB approval, airline promo advertising, music license or Pills Cap permit, use of copyrighted songs or music. BSP certification, use of denomination or currency. Material signed by the medical director, pharmaceutical products, OTC drugs and HR products. Philippine Medical Association Ethics Committee approval, use of licensed medical practitioners on non-prescription drugs, devices, treatments, medical equipment. DOH FDA promo permit and approved promo mechanics. Food, beverages, OTC drugs, HR products, food, herbal or dietary supplements, medical devices, cosmetics products. DTI promo permit and approved promo mechanics. All other non-FDA registered products and services. MTRCB permit for trailers or advertisement of digital streaming services which may be shown in cinema, cable, TV, print, outdoor, or used in collaterals. Then, yung product and category naman and mandatory statement. Under milk code products, infant formula. Breast milk is the only safe and readily available food for infant. And warning, infant formula is not sterile. And sa product category, meron silang mga mandatory statement. Una dito is yung under milk code products or yung infant formula. Breast milk is the only safe and readily available food for infant. And warning, infant formula is not a sterile product and may contain harmful bacteria and must be prepared and used appropriately. Second is milk supplement. The use of milk supplements must be upon a device of a health professionals. The unnecessarily improper use of this product may be dangerous to your child's health. Complementary infant food and devices. This product is not intended for babies 6 months and of age and below. Over-the-counter drugs or home remedy products. If symptoms persist, consult your doctor. Yung client certification naman and material type is yung una dito is yung suggested retail price or SRP certification for materials that features the price of a product. Yung certificate of new product launch for materials with a new claim and introducing copy. Certificate of dialect translation naman for materials that are translated into a local dialect. Then, yung notarized endorser's affidavit, including professional license number, if any, for materials that features a celebrity or a professional or medical license endorser. Yung certification from client where ad originated stating and talent is a real medical professional and that he or she is not allowed by his or her professional appear in an ad for materials that feature foreign talent and medical professions. Then yung certification from client where ad originated stating and the Philippines is the one of the countries authorized the air or publish, display, post ad with celebrities. In yung for materials that features foreign celebrities or artists. OTC drugs or HR products. All pages of the ad materials must be signed by the medical director. Section 14. Implementing guidelines on multi-government and industry mandatory statements. Annex 3. Technical guidelines for the screening of materials with exposure of human body or parts, sexy tones, similar subjects, or execution. The primordial principle is that advertisements should not be offensive to the public based on current and or nationality accepted standards of decency. As a general rule, the application of the rule should be stricter for advertising in media of general viewership or circulation, television, cinema, general circulation, newspapers, magazines, digital, and out of home, because a broad spectrum of people sees the materials, including those of minor age. The application of this rule should be moderated for media catering to specific or specialized audiences. Example, lingerie ads in women's magazine, men's undergarments in men's magazines. Number 1. Obscene advertisements are not allowed. Advertising materials is obscene when the pose, facial expression, situations, props, copy, and or other aspects of the presentation are vulgar or sexually suggestive. Then number 2, models shown are simulating sexual intercourse even if fully clothed shall not be allowed. Number 3, obscene, profane, blasphemous, and sexually suggestive copy is not allowed. Number 4, the depiction of violence and use of threatening or menacing copy is not allowed also. Number 5, total nudity, whether explicit or implied, is not allowed. However, infant without clothes can be allowed as long as the genital areas are not shown and must not be derogatory to the child. Number 6. Advertisements are not allowed when the models are letter A. Partially nude, letter B. Attired in indecent skimpy clothing, letter C. Attired in transparent material, or when presented in a haste to circumvent the prohibition on nudity. Letter D. Attired in clothing that shows excessive voluptuousness. Number 7. Advertisements for out of home or OOH with models must be appropriate for young audiences and shall be wholesome, as OOH is accessible to general public and exposed 24/7. More prudence must be exercised in the screening of OOH advertising materials. So, yung mga nasabi ditong example is, syempre, common sense naman sa atin as an advertiser or advertising student na hindi tayo pwedeng magbigay na or magpakita sa mga audience natin ng hindi kaaya-aya dahil hindi lamang naman yung mga adult yung target audience natin dito, kasi nakikita rin to ng mga bata or lagi na nakikita. Kasi pag nakita ng bata sa magulang yung binabasa nila, titingnan din nila yon. Syempre, meron din silang kalayaan na tingnan kung ano yung tinitingnan ng magulang nila. And last, section 15, use of previously approved materials as support for claims. Use of previously approved materials only as support with the following conditions. Merong tatlong conditions. Then yung number 1 is previously approved materials with ASC stamp of approval and ASC clearance are acceptable as support for claims, so long as the claims is based on the ingredient, compositions, and performance of the product itself. Comparative and superiority claims still need to be supported with third-party studies. Then, pangalawa is, if claims is time-bound, previously approved materials can be used as support, but the validity period to be issued will be the same as the originally approved material. And letter C, when context change, the meaning of the claim, previously approved materials cannot be used as support.
Thank you, and this is our presentation.